Hey, it's the Scotch Test Dummies. We got us High West.
Bourye!
Bourye, he said it right.
Bourye.
Let's test it.
Test it! All right, here we go. We're coming in. The rye shootout's over. What?
I saw your price on there. Is that
Dollar
right?
sign. Dollar sign, boom.
Yeah, no, but is that right?
It is. Yeah. It'll come up later. He's teasing you. It is. Trust me.
Huh.
It is limited. This is
limited sighting.
Limited.
Now the only thing is, you found this and bought it, and the next edition came out a few weeks later, and they redid the. As far as I know, they just redid the labeling, and it shows the jackalope on there. But it's like a big jackalope. It's different packaging, basically.
I haven't seen it.
Bottle.
This is batch number 16A13 for anybody that cares.
But the same, and it says limited release. I think it says limited sighting on the new one instead of limited
release. Of course.
I asked on Twitter if anybody knew if there was a difference in the mash bill or makeup of it, and nobody knew.
All right, we're going to get into what this is in a second, but our Scotch God shout out.
That's right.
What is it?
Amy. And not Amy's husband.
Amy's husband?
Nope, not Amy's husband. Amy. Back on the High West campfire review.
Yes.
She commented she could watch us banter for hours. No need to timestamp.
Now, when did we timestamp?
Well, maybe we were just talking about how long the video was going or something.
Yeah, I ramble.
Once in a while.
I roll.
Once in a while.
It's like a tumbleweed.
But Amy said, Bart, you have to move the Peat Monster 10, referring to the 10th anniversary Peat Monster.
She wants it in every shot.
She says it makes Amy's husband upset because he got his without his box. And yours is in the box. So they want you to,
coveting the box.
He wants you to move it out of the way because he doesn't like looking
So
at
he doesn't like seeing it. It's right up there. He doesn't like
this shot,
Can you see it?
I don't think you can
Maybe
sometimes you can see it.
So sometimes he can see it in the box.
I think
he didn't get the box.
That's right.
You know what we got to do? Now this is the Peat Monster. This is the anniversary edition.
Let's move it. That's right. The 10th anniversary Peat Monster.
Well, hopefully, boom. Hopefully he can't see that. Oh my! Look at that.
Where's it at?
Boom! Front and center. Look at that.
Is that better?
How's that, Amy's husband? And I'm going to leave it there. Now I just forget stuff's back there.
By the way, that's a compass box.
Yes,
Scotch.
Blended
Scotch.
Blended Scotch, Peat Monster. That's their 10th anniversary. Is it cast strength is what made it different?
No, I don't think it's even cast. Okay. There is a cast strength version.
We got to do a versus between the regular Peat Monster and the 10th, and then the cast strength.
The 10th anniversary does have older peated whiskeys.
That'd be a good versus.
Yeah, it's on the list.
I want to do like a whole. I would prefer to do like. Well, we got to do single bottle reviews, but I'd love to do more verses. But so back to this. We've got the shout out in there. Okay. Thank you. Keep commenting. When everybody comments, you might end up on the show. You might end up ending up
something.
Haven't even had anything to drink yet. A lot of coffee. That's what that was. Yeah, ending up. All right. So High West is out of Park City, Utah. They've been purchased.
They were purchased
for a lot of millions. A lot of millions they got purchased.
$160 million.
So they're making good product. I love the old-fashioned style of the bottle. We'll get into the costs and everything in a bit.
Now, I can smell this. It's got a great nose to it. I mean, when you poured it, and even sitting here.
Mm-hmm.
201. I didn't even have my...
201.
Okay, I'll open. Let me say...
Do it.
We've done the High West double rye,
right?
Which we had in the rye shootout.
Young rye, old rye, married.
It fared better in the shootout than I thought it would. When we did it individually, I thought there was something in there I didn't care for on the note wise.
I like the mixture,
but in the shootout it did real well.
Mm-hmm.
Then we did the High West campfire, and the same, it was okay, but it was this mixture of Scotch, it was a mixture of bourbon, a mixture of rye.
A lot of stuff
coming together.
I liked it, but it overwhelmed me, and it's much better on a quiet night. Kids are in bed, music's on, and I can just sip it.
This one redeems both of those.
Redeems both, huh?
Yes.
See, I liked them all. So far, I've been enjoying all.
Well, the others were good, but this one... right up front is the best of the three. in my opinion.
Okay. Well, on the nose, I get a sweet, wet, varnished oak. I can get all that, a sweetness. And then it definitely, I'm at varnished, wet varnished oak, like I just varnished it and it's still drying. And I smell that in there.
I get a great, rich bourbon on the nose. The usual rich bourbon notes.
And Bourye, we should say, is a mixture of just bourbon and rye.
Yeah, now does it say anything else as
They've
far as
got
that
a
goes?
ton of marketing on the back.
Just a blend of straight whiskeys.
If you look at the back, you're going to see just tons
Yeah,
of...
I'm not even going to try to read all that.
Yeah, and it's small. I needed special glasses. But in order to fit it all in there, they got it.
But in those notes is a cinnamon, a vanilla, the oak. There's a slight rye in there, but that's it. Not a lot of the usual rye notes are jumping out at you.
I've got notes on this.
Did we say our ABV? 46%.
Wow, it tastes more like a 50. I was actually just thinking, wow, I get notes first. Strong oak, alcohol spark right up front. Trails out with a little bit of like tart or sourness. I've got leaves the roof of my mouth a little numb, and that is there again today. So let me come back in because that trail, the finish, not sure I'm a fan of the finish.
I get a very smooth, very well-aged bourbon. I get, it's dry, like a dry wine.
Astringency.
Astringency, there you go. A slight bit of some rye notes in there, not overpowering, not too much. And I've actually got wine question mark, as in like, has it been in a wine cask at some point?
I can see where you would pick up that influence, that dryness.
It is sweet, I'd say a honey sweetness.
Right, almost like a honeycomb.
And I've got there's more bourbon on the nose and more rye on the palate. Even though here I'm getting a little bit of a dill note with it, but not too much rye.
Man, I just get a hint of the dill. This one is very wood forward for me. Very oaky. And I think that's where my sour notes are coming from as well. You all right? Good?
I thought before we started I did not silence my phone,
That's
and I was
right.
going to risk it.
It was gonna.
And I just got a text come in and it's getting ready to bing too, so I might as well make sure it's...
There you go. I thought it was gonna break out with some rap. Those that have seen occasionally, no matter what you do, have you figured that out yet? No matter what you do, you will a certain person can override all silencing of your phone and it rings in with a rapper.
Oh, the wife?
Your wife can override your silencing.
I think the silencer doesn't work on it.
Okay. She set it for override. You can't silence me.
I'll tell you right there, I got more rye right there on the palate. Just as we were sitting here talking,
Now,
and even now.
on the finish, I do get more of the vanilla. The sourness is left. Yeah. A dry vanilla lingers in the background as I sit here. I do appreciate that lingering.
The lingering vanilla.
That's right.
Now, the only thing I have in my notes with water is that it brought out more of the rye on the nose.
Got it. Really?
We'll see if that's true today.
In my notes, I did not try this with water, so this is my first time with water here.
It does become creamier as well with the addition of the water. In the nose, I'm still getting really bourbon notes.
Wow. All right. For me, a drop of water here is a must. All right, you're right. The creaminess, and it's almost like a buttered cream.
Yep.
That comes in.
I agree.
That just bumped it up 1 on my score. and you're going to see what my score is here, because the creaminess is lingering throughout the entire taste now, and it's still dry, it's still astringent, but a little less so. Mm-hmm. And I was finding that astringency not very pleasant.
Yeah, you don't care for that, I know. Mm-hmm. I don't mind it. But
for those who want to know the notes that I don't enjoy as much, although sometimes I do, it's not an always, it's a sometimes. I usually don't like wood forward, heavy oak, and I'm generally not a fan of a very dry, astringent taste. Wow, it's like you're having a moment.
Just thinking. Sometimes I got to close my eyes and get all the distractions out and focus.
Distraction number 1 right here. All right. Water's a must. Put at least 1 drop in. I'm not saying overload it. Just put a drop in.
I would agree. I think it's neat at 46%. To me, it's good. I like it. It's palatable. But when you add that drop of water, it definitely helps meld some of them flavors together. Makes it creamier, a little smoother.
You ready for scores?
Let's do it.
84. 84. I knew you wouldn't like that. And just so you can see.
No, you're going to say, that's a good score.
Look, it is. It's a solid score.
That's not what you got there.
I know. I told you.
Oh, you just bumped it up.
Mm-hmm. Water brought it up 1. The astringency and the oak forwardness, quality dram, but those aren't necessarily in my wheelhouse. Wow, 91.
91.
Then you speak
I like this
more.
one. Yeah.
Go. Yeah, you said it was the top of the line for yours.
Top of the line. Oh, of the
High
now we've had
West
the
is
3
your
High
favorite.
West.
Right.
We did the
ones you've had.
the double rye and the campfire. Now to me, this one stands above those 2.
Double rye so far has been my the most enjoyable for me. Mm-hmm. Go though.
And like I say, even sitting here today, and this is the Bourye rye, so a mixture of bourbon and rye. Mm-hmm. And to me, the bourbon really seems well aged. It's at the forefront in this with the rye in the background.
Yeah.
And I like it.
I agree. It's more bourbon than rye, which is probably why it's Bourye rye and not rye boo. Make a rye boo, High West. I just want to say it. High West rye boo.
That could be.
It's a complete 180 of the Bourye rye, and it's double limited. That's good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm calling for it. I want
a rye boo.
I want a rye boo.
How about a rye boo boo?
Rye boo boo. It's got 2 different bourbons in it and a rye. It's a rye boo boo. And if it's a double rye boo boo, that means there's a young rye, an old rye, and then 2 bourbons. A double rye boo boo.
I think we're talking 2 different whiskeys. We're talking a rye boo boo. Well, actually 3. You got a rye boo.
Right.
A rye boo boo.
Oh, no.
And a double rye.
I think you got a rye, a bourbon, and a bourbon, which makes it a rye boo boo. Uh-huh. Now, if you add a double rye, kind of like their other double rye, which is a young rye, old rye, it'd be a double rye boo boo.
There you go. That's a good idea. You can take that.
I want 15 cents off of that idea there, High West, all right? Double rye boo boo.
We're giving that one up.
Yeah. No, okay. It's a gift. It's a gift from the Dummies.
Maybe put it on the back label.
Yeah, Dummies called for this. Yeah. A little marketing on the back. But yeah, if you can get a rye boo boo, and then you can go crazy if you like the rye and get a double rye boo boo. Uh-huh. Oh, man, that'll sell. This show just got good. Right there, that made the show. Say some more since you're a big fan, and I'm a little bit. I mean, it's solid, it's a good dram, but you heard what I want.
Well, the next segment.
Boo-boo. What?
Is it worth it?
Is it worth it? $90.
You got 90. I don't remember it being that high.
It was high.
I think it was in the 70s.
I bought it because it said limited. I love the double rye. I like the campfire, and I thought I'm dropping the money on it.
Well,
I'm getting the limited.
This seems to be if you go to a liquor store and they've got 4 or 5 High Wests lined up on the shelf, this one's not there usually. Right. It's usually gone.
Yeah, I grabbed
You can find the others, and every once in a while, and I've seen this just a couple of times, and I did see the new label on the shelf at Auburn Spirits, but I didn't know if there was a difference between it and this one.
First
and
of all,
I didn't pick it up, but I thought it was about $80. But you could be right.
I'm from Colorado, and the jackalope's huge there.
Oh yeah.
So when you put a jackalope on something, almost got to buy it.
Boom.
Right. All right. Then you add on there limited release. I got to get it. By the way, I think this coin 201's a limited release.
It is a limited release.
It is actually. You gotta go get it. $10.
This hey, fact is, this is going to come out Wednesday. Last Saturday, we shot our 300th episode, Barry Crockett Middleton, or the Middleton Barry Crockett Legacy Edition.
Right.
On that episode, we used coin 200. We put that up on eBay for people to bid on if you're interested in it.
It's still up, right? For like another 3 days, 2?
Should be, if this airs on Wednesday, it would still be up for another 5 or 6 days.
Now, I got to admit, 100% Bruno's idea, and I thought, they can go get any coin for $10. But you're like, hey, it's the coin 200, it's on our 300th episode. And then I said, well, then we got to initial it. And you're like, eh. And then we did it. And I got to admit, that looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's the first time we've signed anything with like a silver Sharpie.
Uh-huh.
And it's like,
let's just say
it's famous.
It's exceeding expectations, right?
It is actually, yeah. I was like, okay.
So, but all proceeds go to benefit our show.
Benefits the show.
So, and maybe we might be able to buy a bottle with the proceeds from that. So
yeah, that's the whole idea.
Now,
and it's just kind of fun.
Is it worth it? Yes. I love it.
No.
Well, I could tell from your score.
Right. Yeah. They got me with the jackalope and the limited release, so I had to buy it. And I do like High West, and it's good. To me, though.
Now, you don't think that there's something that this is never on the shelf, and this is the one that's gone?
I don't run with the crowd, brother.
I know, but I mean, you don't think maybe your palate's off a little bit on it?
Could be. Some people like the oak. Some people like the wood forward. Some people like the astringency. Okay. I'm just saying, for me, is it worth it? No. I would not go buy this again at $90.
I would.
I think this is 50 to 60.
If I see it, I would buy it.
Gotcha. I think it's 50 to 60. Not knocking anything from it. I definitely believe this is just not in my palate. I mean, it's good, but it's not what my palate really desires. Now, Double Rye Boo Boo.
Double Rye Boo Boo. I'd buy that one too.
I'd go get that one. I'd probably have stock in that. Double Rye Boo Boo. Hey, what do you want, Double Rye Boo Boo? All right, anything else?
I'm calling. Do you have any Double Rye Boo Boo?
Do you have any Double Rye Boo Boo? Because I'll buy a whole case of the Boo Boo. I'm telling you, that's marketing genius.
Mark, we got another order for a Double Rye Boo Boo.
We got a hot sale Double Rye Boo Boo. We want a Double Rye Boo Boo. And what would be on the cover if they got a jackalope? Oh, the Dummies.
Hell yeah.
You can just put, we would let them use the Dummies sign there for a Double Rye Boo Boo. All right, we're totally in the land of make believe. We got it. Hopefully you're having fun. And what are we gonna do?
We're gonna. We're parting. We're going that way. This way.
We're gonna Scotch it, you Scotch gods.
Cilantro.
Dummies. That was good. That was a good.
Well, you got the Rye Boo, and then you got the Rye Boo Boo.
That's right.
And then you got the Double Rye Boo.
You got the Rye Boo, Rye Boo Boo, Double Rye Boo Boo.